Everything appears mostly normal, I would say. So there's a lot of bullshit in the background. We'll get rid of a few things. Motherfucker. Here I go dropping frames again. No, Chrome barely uses any of my memory. It's some weird shit with my... I think it's the operating system, to be honest. Here it goes. Yep. Yeah, I am buffering, huh? All right. Let's close this shit. It seems like it's certain Windows things. Like, it froze up there when I right-clicked on something in my taskbar to close it. And it froze up my PC, too. That's the power of the i7-8700. I actually think what's causing it is a I have plenty of RAM. I think what's causing it is actually a driver conflict with my audio system. I'm only using like not even 20% of my memory right now. And I have a lot of stuff open. Anyways, fuck that. Moving on. Move on. Next question. All right, so this is, can you see my cursor? You sure can't. Let me see if I can do that. It says capture cursor. Oh, there we go. All right. We're doing this. All right, so this is called the Lazy Noob Pack. And this is what I would recommend for everyone who is just starting out playing Dwarf Fortress. There are a couple of things I'm going to recommend. One is that you just Google Lazy Noob Pack. Sorry, I'm dehydrated. Because this includes the game. It includes this launcher where you can configure all sorts of shit. It includes control profiles. It includes easy graphics, ways to like loading graphics and stuff like that. And this is all just one big file that you download and run, and it works great. So let me explain to you a few of the things that I have changed in mine that differ a little bit. I raised the population cap just a little bit because I like the ability to have up to 250 dwarves, even though the game starts running like shit then. Everything else I have pretty much set to default. A lot of people, if they're beginners, might turn off cave-ins, might turn off aquifers. Aquifers are basically like underwater rivers and shit like that, which can make the game a little bit harder to go through. Then as far as graphics go, I am using I'm using a 32 pixel tile set. I'm using the MEF plus Vordak tile set. And I'm also using, you'll see, a different font set for this. So normally one of the problems, if you play, I'm going to be playing in 1440p, it's going to be downscaling, but you should be able to read everything because I'm using a very big font. So when we get into the game, you guys are going to have to tell me how visibility is. When I tested it out before, it looked okay in OBS, but we'll see. So for the most part, you don't really have to worry about the customize menu. You might want to change your font so it's a bigger font that's easier to read. It's totally up to you. But basically, for any of these, you just double click them, click install graphics, and they change automatically. So utilities, we are going to be using some utilities here. So the first one, which we're definitely using, is going to be Dwarf Therapist. So I'm going to run Dwarf Therapist, probably drop some frames when that loads up. And then I will show you that window once we get into the game. Cancel. Okay. Unable to locate. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Dwarf Fortress is awesome, man. Everything else here, some of these are pretty cool. We probably are going to use an isometric viewer, but one that's built into Stone Sense and DF Hack. There are some cool things like a Unity thing that lets you look at shit. Look at shit in like first person and stuff like that. But other than that, not too important. Advanced FPS counters on. Intro movie is turned off. We'll turn it on just this one time. Everything else is set to default pretty much here, except processor priorities at high. And then DF Hack. Let's see. We're going to do Stone Sense isometric view. We're going to have multi-level view. We're going to have mouse controls. We're going to turn those on. And then pretty much everything else should be fine. automatic job assignments can be kind of nice if you're first playing the game, and I'll explain that later on when we're in the game, but I usually keep it off because it can cause some issues with your dwarves doing dumb stuff. Anyways, yeah, you also have access to like all your different folders and stuff like that. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and start the game and see what happens. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're crusting up. Okay. Sorry. Are we in? Are we getting this? Holy shit. Thank you. All right. There we go. Finally. All right. We're in. Let me just get this up here. All right. So, this is Dwarf Fortress. And as you can see, I have pretty big text. This is in 1440p, keep in mind, and the text is pretty big. So, that's because the font tile set is like 1600 by 900. So you'll see I have continue playing here. That's because I loaded this up earlier, this version, to test out and do a few things to test for the stream. But if this is your first time playing the game, you're going to be creating a new world. And for those of you who don't know, Dwarf Fortress is basically like a Tolkien-esque fantasy world simulator. Let me check if I can turn the volume up a little bit. Oh, there goes my shit crusting up again. I gotta figure out what's causing that. Alright, anyways. When you're first coming in here, you're gonna want to go to Create New World. And basically this is just a fantasy world simulator game. Welcome to the alpha of Dwarf Fortress. It's been an alpha for about 11 or 12 years, I think now. As there has been some time between releases, instability is to be expected. Report crashes, hangs, lags, bugs, and general disappointment at the forums. As of July 2018, you can get help at the fan-created website dwarffortresswiki.org, which I would highly recommend to everybody. And I'm actually going to open the wiki right now, because if you go to the wiki, and I'm going to show you this right now. Let's do another capture on here. Let me add this because we're gonna need that eventually, but then I'll turn it off. And then, yeah, he's done some interviews where they say basically they don't think it's ever actually really gonna be done to the fullest extent that they think it will be, but it'll be close, I guess. Oh boy, here we go. Give me a wiki. Give me that wiki. For some reason, Chrome doesn't like to capture, and I don't really understand why. Anyways, pretend like the Dwarf Fortress wiki is on the screen, because it's not right now. But if you go on the Dwarf Fortress wiki, in the upper right-hand corner, there's a green button that says tutorial, and that is a very good place to get started for this game. Man, right now the learning curve of OBS is what's giving me fucking problems. Why is the game not capturing now? Escape to continue. OBS, help. Why does it look like it's capturing there? Okay. Cool shit. Sorry about that. Looks like we just have to recapture it. Alright, already off to a strong start. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, OBS. Alright, well, we're never alt tabbing again. Anyways, I highly recommend you, you can even follow along if you want to look at the wiki. It's got a really nice diagram of, like, priorities for early game, which comes in a lot of handy if you've never played before. So I would recommend that, so these are our world settings. We have to generate our world before we can even generate our setting for our fortress and stuff like that. Especially if you have a crappy computer, I'd recommend going small or below. I'm going to do small for now. Let's do a short history, low civilizations, low number of sites, number of beasts, medium, savagery, we'll keep it medium, mineral occurrence, we're going to do frequent, just to make it a little bit easier. This is kind of like an easier setup. We could turn savagery and beasts like all the way down, but this is probably going to be good to go. And you'll see every screen in this game has the controls for the most part at the bottom. So I'm going to hit Y to go. One of the biggest hurdles is the controls for this game. Is learning how to go through all the menus, learning how to press all the buttons so you do all this shit. And as you can see, we very quickly put together this place because it's small and it has a short history. Sorry, getting the dry mouth there. And there we go. Our world was very quickly generated. And you'll see this isn't tiles right now because this is the world map. World map doesn't really use the tile set that the game has. You'll see we're going to have actual graphics in a second here. It's pretty easy to tell what a lot of stuff is though, like mountains and grass or forest or stuff like that. So you'll see this place is called Amaninu. The everlasting planet has been created. And we can hit enter to accept, A to abort, P to export, movement keys to view. So if you export, there's a separate... Oh, hey, Lizerin, how's it going? Welcome to Dwarf Fortress for big-brained folk. If you export your world after you create it, you can actually use a third-party application that comes with the Lazy Noob Pack called Legends Viewer. And what Legends Viewer does is it lets you... If you look over on the left hand here, you can see 125 years past... 2,887 historical figures, 990 dead, 21,391 events. So if you wanted to see how all these cities formed, who had wars with who, what the different factions are that exist in the world, you'd want to export your game to Legends Viewer, and then you could see all the important figures, who was related to who fought who in what years, who has vendettas against who. It's all a bunch of like background and subtext for the world that you can totally ignore. Most people do totally ignore it. And for the most part, you'll never really run into a lot of that stuff. It's just if you want to know the lore and history. So we're going to hit enter to accept, and you're going to see that we're back at the main menu. So we're going to hit start playing. And we have three choices. We have Dwarf Fortress, Adventure, and Legends. Legends is kind of what I was talking about, where you can read about the lore and like all different stuff. The Legends Viewer is like a web-based thing that makes it way easier to read than the Legends Viewer in the game. Adventure mode is kind of like a traditional roguelike where you take the role of a single individual and you can create a party of adventurers and you go out and do quests and explore forts. You can actually explore your old abandoned fortresses if you play on the same world as them. But we are going to be playing the main game, which is Dwarf Fortress. So we're going to hit... First thing, we're going to pass a little bit of time, and then we have to pick our embark site. Now, this is kind of like the difficulty select mode, I'd say, for this game. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to be naming people after people in chat. I'm naming dwarves after people in chat, so you don't even have to ask. I'm just going to put you in, because we're going to... there's no way we're going to have more viewers than we have dwarves. Sorry to say, but that's for the best, I think. So, sorry as I take a sip of water. Yeah, I'm probably going to have some weird CPU stuttering with this game. So the first thing we have to do is pick our embark site. And this is, I'm going to show you, hopefully you can see the mouse. I know it's a little small and a little dark. But you have three different zooms basically to the world. So we have the local map, we have the regional map, and we have the world map. And you'll see there's a blinking X on 2 of these. And on the far left, you'll see there's like a square. So that square, which is right now, let me see if I can move it around because it uses weird keys. So this square that I'm moving around on the far left right now, that's actually the entire scope of our map that our fort is going to be built on. So basically, it's going to be 4x4 tiles, which is going to be a pretty big map. You can adjust the size of it. You can make it smaller if you want for performance and stuff like that. So we're going to be looking for not only a region that we like, but we're also going to be looking for a local area that we like. We're probably going to want to have water. We're going to want to have wood. And if you look on the far right, you can actually see a details menu that we can change lots of different details in there. So right now it's showing the temperature kind of stuff, the trees, the vegetation, surroundings, if there's any streams, and then it'll show what's in the ground basically. So if you're just starting, you really want to avoid aquifers. Aquifers are going to make shit really hard for you. Yeah, we're not doing necromancer towers on our how to play stream. But eventually we'll do some crazy shit when we play this. And welcome, Fat Cow. Despite your discouraging messages, I appreciate you coming here to check out some Dwarf Fortress. I highly recommend if you're new, just start out in the ocean. That's not true. Anyways, so on the right, you're going to want to see things like you'll see sand, clay, shallow soil, shallow metals. If you're new and starting out, you want some metals, whether they're shallow or deep, and you want to avoid an aquifer. You want soil or clay, though, because those are going to be important for farming. But I want to show you, because I think not a lot of people know that this is a thing. If you press tab, you can actually change the display mode on the right, and you can see some different things. So I actually use this a lot to kind of determine... RimWorld's a lot easier. It's a lot more user-friendly, Cal, but they're similar in a lot of ways. So I use this cliff indicator a lot of the time when I'm scoping out my area, because it will tell you where there are actual like mountains that you can dig into. Because if you look at like this kind of screen that basically just shows you, the basic stuff, it's really hard to tell how actually like tall the mountains are in the area or things like that. And so you can like see the stream, and you can see this stream has like 7, 8, and 9. That means it has like sheer cliffs around it, basically. What the fuck is... Oh, I forgot I have mouse mode turned on. Yeah, I guess you can use the mouse for that. So the other thing is you can press F and you can find a desired location, kind of based on certain like qualifiers. So if you don't want an aquifer, you don't want, certain shit or whatever, you can use that. So I want to find something near a stream that has trees, no aquifer. Let's see. Okay, we're in the ocean now. Ocean man. I also want something. It would be cool to have like a waterfall or something. I like shit like that. Dwarves like waterfalls too. So I'm just kind of panning around on using both like the numpad and the arrow keys, or well, I guess W, X, D, and A, to kind of move around both in the region and in the local area, to kind of look for general shit. I don't think I'm gonna find what I'm looking for without an aquifer, which is fine. I can I could probably deal with an aquifer, but since this is like a beginning kind of thing, I don't really want that. So let's see. Heavily forested. Let's see if there's anything in this heavily forested area that we can do. Of course, all aquifers, all aquifers. I don't know if it's aquifer or aquifer. Aquafina. Let's see. I don't know what happened to the music, by the way, because I didn't mute it. It just kind of stopped. Okay, this looks like it could be. We're in the mountains here. Sparse trees. Yeah, there is a search function. I'm not using it because I'm the way that I play this, I'm kind of particular about what like my actual layout area is. Oh, this looks like it's gonna be good. This area. It's a little warm here, but this might be good. Maybe we go south. Oh yeah, this looks like it's gonna be perfect. So this is shrubland, temperate. We have woodland trees, moderate vegetation, and wilderness surroundings. We have a stream. That's good. I'm gonna see what the. Ooh. It's kind of like baby cliffs. What about here? Okay, I like this. This could be good. Let's see. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, so see how there are 5s and 4s here? That means there are going to be steeper cliffs on the brook, or on the kind of cliff side. So what I think I'm going to do, ooh, this looks like it could be cool. But there's an aquifer here. We don't want to fuck with that. You can also build in like volcanoes and stuff like that. Sorry I'm wasting so much time, but picking your embark spot is important because it takes a long time to generate and you want to kind of try and get it right the first time. So we're going to, if we pick this area, because you see the 5s and 4s, we're basically going to be settling in a valley and we're going to get both sides of the valley. And it's going to be pretty steep, which is going to be good, which means we can build directly into the rock face and have multiple levels going both up and down. And we should have access to soil for farming, which will be easy, and we'll have a water source. So it should be easy to defend too if we're building straight into steep cliffs instead of trying to. One of the things I find is if I use the search function a lot, I end up in a very flat area and my fortress turns into like just digging a hole and like building walls around it, which doesn't feel very dwarfy to me. So we're going to go ahead and hit embark. I like this area. So I'm going to press E. You have selected an area with an aquifer. Might be very difficult to obtain stone here. Well, the thing on the right doesn't say there's an aquifer, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's only like in one of the edges or the corners of the map. And even if it is there, we'll be fine. It has other stuff. We have soil, clay, shallow and deep metals. So I like this spot and we're going to go here. So now if you play with the Lazy Noob pack, it comes with profiles for starting the game. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these profiles because I would actually suggest it if it's your first time playing. And I want this playthrough to be similar to anybody's first time playing. So I'm going to do this easy start for new players. I am using a tile set. You'll see it in a bit. And I'm using a custom font too. This is a 1600 by 900 font, which is why even though we're playing at 1440p, it's very big font and easy to read. So we're going to do DF Vid 2 2015 easy start made for new players. And you'll see we're going to have some, we're going to actually have 0 points left over. Sometimes you have extra, but I am going to show you what the embark screen looks like because eventually you might want to do your own embark. Yeah, well, you'll see how bad I am. So basically the embark screen, I'm saving us time is what I'm doing actually. And you're going to be saving yourself time too if you do it this way. So if we press tab, you can see we start out with 7 dwarves and a bunch of shit in your inventory. Basically, you have points that you can spend on skills and on materials. And if you look on the right here, we have all sorts of fucking shit here, all sorts of animals. We have all sorts of goods and stuff like that. So our shit that we're starting with 2 picks, an iron anvil. These are things at the top are very important. Picks are what we need to, we're starting very soon. Picks are what we need to actually dig. Anvils are what we're going to need to make tools later on. Crossbows for hunting. Plump helmet spawn is going to be all these seeds and stuff like that are what we're going to be growing at the beginning. A lot of general stuff and a good assortment of wine, rum, beer, and some food and some basic goods. So a lot of this stuff might seem like it's common sense, but if you actually go through and like are starting a new game and have never played this before, this is why I'm recommending you use one of those pre-made starting things. And once you understand what items are and what they do and stuff like that, then you can, you know, maybe do your own embarks. And if you embark in a weird environment like a desert or something like that, you'd obviously want to pick different stuff. Like you'd want to pick camels and things that don't have to graze. Anyways, the other thing we're going to look at is the skills. So each dwarf, you can see all these skills on the right. They don't even fit on one window here. There are a lot of different skills. And you'll see that most of these are kept at the default for a lot of these guys. But what you're going to see is some very important jobs. It's like we're going to have probably 2 miners here that are proficient at least. This is another thing where the preset comes in handy is making sure you have the bare minimum to actually survive at the beginning. So you might forget something like you don't have an architect or a mason or something like that at the beginning, and you end up not being able to build shit that you need very early on. So you can see we have 2 miners. One is also going to be a smith. We have a proficient mason who is also our stone crafter. And we have our building designer who is also going to be one of our crafters and carpenters. And then this guy who is our grower, cook, brewer, and butcher, I believe. And then we're going to have a woodcutter. And what's our last person's specialty? Let's see. Novice ambusher. Oh, crossbowman. So it looks like this guy's going to be our hunter and our first kind of warrior guy. The other thing we can do while we're here is we're going to name our fort. Let's do a few random ones. Hammer. Oh, excuse me. You can pick what you want it to be, and it'll say it both in Dwarven and in English. Iron Bud. I like that. Rag Clans. You can get some pretty cool names if you actually go through all the things. But we're trying to save time here. This is a Dwarf Fortress speedrun. A slow speedrun. Fainted Doyles. Mountain Heaven. Steel Buried. City Hail. Dash Machines. Top Channels. Whisper Wreath. Glacial Abbey. Goldside. I like Goldside. That's a good name for a fort. All right. Let's do done. And then we're also going to name our group too. Random. We're going to be the Sack of Busts now. The High Standards. We're going to have low standards, but we're going to be called the High Standards. All right. Oh boy. So we have our gear. We have our dwarves named. We have the name of our fort, and we have the name of our group. So we're going to go ahead and press E to embark. You can also save your own presets if you want. Oh shit, here we go. Shit's getting real. I hear crust. Oh boy. Oh boy. Boy, am I dropping frames? Okay. So first off, I gotta move this out of the way. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is something called Stone Sense. It's an isometric viewer, which I'm going to pop in and out of here and there. I don't know why it actually was the thing that captured. This not what I'm looking like most of the time. Oh my god. We're crusting up here majorly. There we go. So the isometric view, if you play this game and you have multiple monitors, you can keep the isometric, okay, let me minimize that. Maybe that'll fix some shit. If you play with the isometric view, you can keep it on like a second monitor and it can be helpful. I just reference it every once in a while. Am I still crashing? Holy shit, what is going on? Let me check my task manager really quick. I'm not even close to using 100%. Whoa, whoa. It's actually host. All right, how are we doing now? Mini host modular is what was actually fucking up. Audio software, huh? Holy fuck. Atax, you don't even sub, dog. Oh my gosh. Yeah, how we said now? We're still huh? Let me... Fuck. Alright, let me, It's not Dwarf Fortress that's doing this, actually. It's my audio software. It's having trouble playing nicely. Yeah, this is my audio software. Worst case scenario, I'll just do oh my gosh. It also could be because I'm setting Dwarf Fortress already. Could have something to do with it also. Give me a sec. All right, that maybe should help a little bit. How's it sounding now? Are we crusting up big time still, or are we better? Crusty, testing my crusty asshole. 1, 2, 3. Is that better? It seems better on my end. All right. Yeah, we will see. I gotta recapture the game. Apparent? Nope, we're good. All right. Wow, that was fucking weird. Yeah, I've been having problems with Mini-Host Modular. I use the same audio DAW routing thing that Vinny uses, and it works well for me for the most part. But I've noticed with my new CPU, I think there might be some issues with the ASIO drivers or something with my mixer. Because I have this big ass 20 input mixer for like synthesizers and shit like that I use for music, but for some reason, right now. Again with this shit. Alright, let me adjust one more thing. Big stutter. Big stutter, you say? Okay. Then I'm going to do this really quick. Okay, I've made my buffer fucking massive, mate. So, I mean, my audio is gonna be delayed, but we shouldn't get any stuttering, I hope. It really is, I'm not kidding. Mini-Host is using more CPU than Dwarf Fortress was. And it still is right now. It's not using a lot, though. That's the thing, is it's using, like, 10% of my CPU, and so is Dwarf Fortress. OBS is using, like, 1%. And then suddenly it'll spike to 100% CPU usage. I'm not sure why. So please let me know if there are more stutters. If it's really bad, I'm just gonna switch to my doing everything raw through my mixer. So no VSTs, no software audio stuff. Holy fuck. Anyways, you have arrived after a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended your CPU. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Irish Irith. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow, or hook, provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you. Now, I fucking just crusted, didn't it? Enough time to delve secure lodging. Ere the leopard... Melodic Goldside. Alright, strike the earth. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of Mini-Host then. Give me 1 second. Well, here, you can have some graphics while you wait. Or maybe it'll be fine now. Who knows? Alright, let's pause. How are we doing? We crusty? Or are we fine? Let me zoom in on my guys a little bit here, so you can see them clearly. So you can see my dwarves actually kind of look like dwarves. You can tell that like the turkeys are turkeys. I have sheep, buffalo. You can see all sorts of things here. Yeah, we sound fine now, huh? So there are some problems if you use the mouse controls, and you play at a big resolution like this. You can see that like the map moves around, which I'm sure I could probably turn off. But if you've seen Dwarf Fortress before, this probably looks a little bit more like it makes a little bit more sense. We're at ground level right now. So if you look on the right side of the screen over here, this number actually shows you what level, like Z level you're at. So if I, oh boy, let's see, what are my keys? Okay, so I have my, since we're using mouse, the mouse wheel zooms in and out. So if I zoom up, you can see the tops of the trees form. I've seen Joel show this before, but it's a lot easier to understand with a tile set. So if we're zoomed up, also let's see where in our map, because don't we have some cliffs somewhere? Or are these the cliffs? Are we on the cliffs? Okay. This doesn't seem like the place where we embarked. It seems like the reverse of what we embarked in. So I'm actually in the highest level right now. So this area is what's higher up. So we're probably gonna like dig into here. Yeah, we're gonna go down a few levels and like maybe we can do our entry down here somewhere. Okay, we're just scoping things out. So the first thing you want to do when you get into the game is you want to scope things out. You want to see, this is your wagon, your dwarves are around here, they're doing shit. Let's get Dwarf Therapist on the screen if we can. So this is Dwarf Therapist, and if I hit connect up here, you will see a beautiful spreadsheet. And you can see our 7 dwarves. Looks like we got a lot of lady dwarves here. It doesn't really matter. We can take our dwarves however we want them. But you'll see in Dwarf Therapist, basically, this is something I have open in another window. And this lets you, if you've ever played RimWorld, this basically lets you have the RimWorld interface for assigning jobs. Of course, this game has many more jobs than RimWorld does, but this lets you go through and check off what things you want people to do, and then you click commit and it'll send them off. We already have jobs assigned for people, so we don't really have to worry about this at this moment in particular. Oh boy. What we're going to start off with, I should have turned off mouse movement for the window, but what we're going to start off with, also we can zoom in and out with our tile set, which is a nice feature. Let me get Dwarf Therapist off the screen really quick. You can see we can actually zoom in and out though, which kind of helps us get the lay of the land. So, ooh, I hear that crust. Here we go. So this is basically our full map. And which is good because we're gonna build into the side of this hill that we're on top of right now and kind of go underground. Maybe we'll build a tower coming out of it at some point. But the first thing we want to do is what any good dwarf would do, and that is to dig into the mountain. So what I'm doing right now is I'm using the mouse wheel to just kind of scroll down a little bit to try and find a place that looks like it would be good for us to kind of dig an entryway. And with the entryway, we want it to be something that we can guard easily. We want it to be something that wagons are going to be able to get into. Not hear me? Okay, yes, I'm a dumbass. I was muted because 0 on my numpad is the fucking my mute button. So I have to make sure I don't press that. Where did you last hear me? Because what I had said was that I turned on box select and then I'm building a 3-tile path so that my caravan can get in here, and I'm just building some 2-tile. I am fucking don't come watch my stream if you expect anything good. It's okay. So before I started digging, basically I was saying I was looking for a good place to make an entryway that's going to be easy to defend and shit like that. Basically I'm laying out rooms right now that my miners are going to mine out. This big area is going to be our trading post, which is going to be important early on. But other than the trading post, I'm just going to do a couple of small rooms that are going to be mainly stockpiles for now. And we aren't even going to worry about like worry about like space for the dwarves to sleep in just yet. We want to get this dug out, and we want to get shit moved in. They're going to be unhappy at first, but that's okay. And actually what I'm going to do, since we're doing this now, is I'm going to go to my designation and I'm going to do some up-down staircases in the corners of these rooms. So some of this isn't best practice, because one of the things you want to try and avoid when you're doing maps, when you're laying out your fortress, is too many loops. Looping pathways and branching paths that loop around have a tendency to kill your frame rate eventually. But so the way stairs work is a little complicated. I'd recommend you look on the wiki. If you don't have it open now, I'd recommend you get it open. Maybe there's a screenshot I can just drag in here. Yeah, okay, this works. But of course it doesn't show up. Yeah, the pathfinding gets really complicated. Let me just go ahead and save this here, and then because I really do want to show, this is kind of an important thing to learn if you're learning about stairs. Let's see here. I'm not the best instructor either. It's just people asked for some beginner advice, so I'm doing the best I can. So let's open this image up, and you can see. Oh no, what did I do? All right, so here's our initial setup. So this is a dwarf going into a wall, right? So this is, imagine our dwarf. Let me scroll up here a little bit. So my cursor is at the entrance right now. See that? So imagine a dwarf kind of standing, if he's standing like right up against this wall here, like right here, this is him up against the wall. So mining in this game means that you're just, which is these highlighted tiles right here, means that you're just digging straight into a wall. If you're building upstairs, so this is carving, there's a difference between carving something out of existing stone and building something. So if you wanted to put upstairs where there's nothing existing, just empty space, you actually have to build the stairs. So you have to plan ahead your stairs if you know whether you're doing up or down stairs. So the reason why I'm doing the up-down stairs right now is because that's going to set it up so that if I build upwards or if I build downwards, I just have to build another set of up-down stairs to get them to connect. It is kind of weird in this diagram, the way the downstairs kind of look. It looks like they don't connect to anything, but basically downstairs need an upstairs under them for them to connect it all. If you channel or use ramps, it's like digging a trench. or digging like kind of a pathway. I know it's not the most intuitive system, but this graphic will help you kind of visualize it. But when in doubt, I fucking did it again. I don't know, how did I press Z? Yeah, I muted myself. What? How did I hit that? I didn't hit it. That's really strange. Weird. Okay. What did I just do? I'm fucking everything up now. Alright. I'm gonna go down another Z level. And we're making another couple sets of rooms. So, I fucked that up. So if you do the box select thing and you select multiple levels, so say I'm starting on this level, and then I go up a couple of levels with my designation, you'll see that it makes that room in multiple places. So now I kind of have to do the same with the stairs because I fucked that up. But we're just going to do that on those couple of levels for right now. Why did it do that? Okay. Sorry, guys. Pro Gamer here. Pro Gamer Spanx here. Let me just fucking mute myself again. Alright, so we're going to put up downstairs in each of these corners. And then I guess we should probably... No, we'll leave the other room. That'll be plenty of stockpile space, and then we'll build our shit later. So, I'm gonna press spacebar and unpause the game. And you'll see already these light up because two of my dwarf homies are coming over to dig this shit out. Oh my gosh. And they work pretty fast. One of the things is the speed of this game is kind of tied to the CPU. And I have it set at 100 FPS. You can actually turn it down and make the game run slower if you wanted it to. The other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna designate chop down trees. So we're gonna get rid of all this tree bullshit in front of my house. I don't want these trees, I want the wood. So I'm just doing the big box select, and I'm gonna select everything that's like in front. And you're gonna see that's gonna be a lot of trees that are gonna get cut down, and they're just gonna leave all of the fucking wood out wherever it is right now. So that's good. Chop is on, unpause. So you're gonna see that's getting highlighted too. So I still have 4 of my dwarves not doing shit right now, but they'll be doing shit very soon. We just gotta kind of get this hallway figured out. You can see I already chopped down a tree. We got wood down here. Another thing I'm gonna do early on is I'm going to go into my zones and my stockpiles. So I'm gonna press P for stockpiles, and I'm gonna press Y for corpses. And we're gonna make a stockpile just out here somewhere by the entrance for corpses, because we don't want them stinking up the place. We're also gonna press R to make a stockpile for refuse. So this is our like assorted trash. This is where we're gonna put all the memes. Are gonna go out there, and you can see there are custom stockpiles. There are all these different like complicated stockpile settings and stuff like that, but most of them can be pretty basic, at least for a starter. So we're gonna designate those 2 stockpiles from the get-go because those are pretty important. But now we're just gonna let our dwarves mine out some space. Couldn't find a path to cut that tree, that's fine. You're gonna see this guy's running around chopping wood. All this wood out here that we're gonna be using pretty early on. The fuck is that? Is that a mushroom? Oh, I guess it's a shrub. It looks like a fucking weird mushroom. So eventually we're gonna build like some walls around here, and we're gonna build some other shit, some defenses. But you'll see these guys are slowly chipping away, digging out some space. We're also going to go ahead and press B, and we're gonna go to building. And our first building that we're gonna build, if I can find it, is the trade depot, which we can press Shift D, I guess. And our trade depot is just going to be right in the center of this hell. We can expand outwards later. And we're going to, whenever you build something, you're going to see this menu on the right. And basically that menu on the right is what materials you want to build it with. By default, it sorts by what's closest to the building site. So we're just going to use all these stones and shit that are lying around for mining out our place as our building materials. So that's pretty much all we need to do. And you'll see now we have even less idlers. Our architect's gonna come out and start planning this shithole. And you can see these guys are digging the other rooms that are above and below. And we have soil up here, which is very good. Because we're also going to designate some farm space in a little bit here. I want to see, I'm actually going to, for mining, I'm going to do the up-down stairs above and below, like we did on the other side. So I'm just clicking to do those. Actually, I should have done the room first, but that's fine. Let's press D, and then we'll do like that, and like that. It's probably close enough. Then we'll do the same thing down here. Very good, very good. So now those are going to be a little bit more mirrored. And yeah, that's good for mining. So that'll just give me some extra space. Because on one side, we're going to be storing stuff. So the first thing, we're going to be storing stuff and setting up kind of like crafting areas. And then the other side is going to be dedicated to food. So starting out, food is a pretty big priority. What we're going to do, I'm actually going to set this up now as a designation. We're going to have like a grand hall. Let's get some more mining done first though. These soil walls are kind of hard to see, but there is a wall between here. Alright, struck saltpeter. And you'll see, normally one of the things that's kind of hard to tell if you play this in ASCII is like you can see all these different materials like the claystone, the gypsum, the saltpeter, stuff like that. Normally just like looks like weird dots and icons in the game. However, because we have tiles, we can clearly see that that shit is cluttering the place up. We still have a lot of idlers, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna set up a few small stockpiles. So I'm gonna press P for stockpile. Oh boy, there goes the mouse. And let's see. The first thing we're gonna set up is, how about, we're gonna do, finished goods on this level. One level below, we're gonna do, let's do furniture below that. These are just arbitrary. You can set them up. There is some optimization to how you do it. You can do it, but for now we're not optimizing at all. I'm gonna do a narrow strip here for weapons and a narrow strip here for armor because we probably don't really have much right now. And then we're gonna go up here, and this is gonna be the start of our wood stockpile. This is gonna get a lot bigger, but for now we'll just fill this up with wood. Alright, that's good. And now you see we have 0 idlers if you look in the upper right, because people are gonna get off their asses and they're gonna start hauling stuff. Now that they have a place to put things, they're actually gonna take those things and store them. And some things you'll see are heavier than others, and so it might take a dwarf longer, or they might move slower to move like a big pile of wood or something like that. A way you can counteract that is you can build wheelbarrows, and you can also kind of compress the storage areas by building crates. But that's a little bit more advanced, and we'll get into that later on. On that note too, though, I'm going to pause really quickly, and I'm going to open the volume mixer, and I'm going to turn off the normal soundtrack because I'm already starting to get sick of it, and I'm gonna play some of my own music for this game. Let's see, what are we gonna do first? There we go. There we go. This will be good to start with. All right. Morrowind's good for Dwarf Fortress. All right, so our guys are still digging. This is also the hype for Skyrim VR too, of course. Alright, cancels give water, need empty bucket. Who's giving who water? Alright, so guys are still hauling. Guys are still digging somewhere. Who's digging? Yeah, they're still digging. Maybe. Alright, so now that we've gotten some of the stockpile areas done, I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit. That's kind of loud. So now that we got that a little figured out, let's go ahead and put some up-down stairs at the end of this hallway. And we didn't do up-down. There we go. Let's do some up-down at the end of this hallway. What's up-down, you might say. And then I'm gonna go like several levels deep with stairs here. But what we're gonna do is, this is our floor right below our main entryway. So we also want to think, when we're laying out our hallways and stuff like that, where enemies are going to be able to get in, what enemies are might be able to have access to, how we're going to defend certain parts of our fortress, all kinds of shit like that. So for now, I want our main kind of entryway, even though we built those other welcome, Joker. Even though we put these 4 stairways in the main hall, I think we're gonna have those connect to things a little bit differently. So we're gonna kind of do something like this for now, because I don't want to create too many loops. All right. My forts, I tend to build kind of boring forts because I tend to have lots of hallways and I make things that make sense. Oh my gosh, where am I going? All right, there we go. This is going to be where we're gonna grow a lot of food, I think. No, we're gonna grow on this level, actually. That makes more sense. And then this is gonna be more of our kitchen area. So I'm gonna make this area pretty big. And then I'm gonna make a cool hall. And it's gonna be totally off center. And so if you have OCD, I'm sorry. But this is just how I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna turn box select off, and we're gonna do some handmade pixels. No. Designate. Where's remove designation? So if you want to remove something, you just press X. There we go. Seems like box select is still on. All right, high quality gameplay right here. We're just gonna make a cool room, all right? And then we're going to remove designation. I want to keep the center. We're gonna do this. Actually, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do this. And then I want to kind of make this like a long, elongated hall. Like I want there to be like sort of a stage on one end. So let's do this. Yeah, that's better. All right. I like how box select is off and it's still doing it, but whatever. All right. And then, so basically what I'm trying to do right now here is this is going to be a kitchen area that is going to cook the food that we prepare above. A lot of Dwarf Fortress is planning shit ahead. You could wait and try and do all this in real time, but I would not suggest it at all. And so this is going to be like kind of our kitchen area. And we're going to have like 2 ways to get into the main hall like this. Actually, I kind of like how this looks. So maybe we're going to do like... eventually we're going to have like nobles and shit like that. Does that work? Yeah. We're going to have nobles and shit, and they're going to need offices. So we'll do the offices like off of the main hall a little bit. That should be good for now. These I'm yeah, well, you know what? Just don't listen to my advice. This isn't that complex of a loop. I mean, you can do a few loops here and there, but you don't want to do too many. So then what I'm going to do here, and I know this is a lot of digging, which is going to take a long time to get through, but whatever, it's fine. We're going to start our dwarf accommodations here. And I like to give my dwarves a decent amount of room. And by that, I mean they get that much room. I'm just using the keyboard right now, even though I could use the mouse. Oops. Dwarves literally can do fine in like 1 by 2 rooms, I think, are fine. Let's see. I just crossed. Can you guys hear me okay? Oh boy. I hope I'm still alive. All right, so this isn't more than enough rooms for how many people we have right now. But this will be a good start. And then later on, we can make even more luxurious rooms for some people. But this is a good enough start for now. So we're just going to unpause and let the dwarves do their thing. Oof. And you'll see we have 0 idlers. That's one of the things you always want to keep an eye out for your idlers. Usually a few is okay based on like situational stuff, but for the most part, you don't want too many people idling. All right, so next, the next thing we're going to do is if you're on the wiki, which you probably aren't because you didn't take my advice, but if you're on the wiki and you are looking at that chart that has like the flow chart of what you need to be building and stuff like that, food is one of the most important things. So we're going to build a farm plot. We're going to press B and then P. And what do you mean needs soil or mud? This is soil. Is this not soil? Oh, this is stone. Where was soil? Soil was upstairs, right? Yeah, here's soil. Okay, so we're going to press B and then P for a farm plot. And then we're going to use, of course, the classic keys UM and KH to size our plot. And we're going to start out with just 1 3x3 plot for right now. That should be enough to get us started. We'll probably build a second one pretty soon. But what we're going to do is we're going to press, what key is it? C, no, V. All right, so we're going to press V. No, we aren't. All right. All right. I'm just pressing random buttons now. Ignore me. Okay. Oh, it's still being built. That's why. All right, so we're gonna press Q, and then when you press Q and go near, sorry, it's been at least a little bit of time since I played this, so I've got my own things that I forget. But we're gonna do plump helmets for every season. So I'm just gonna highlight the farm plot, go down to plump helmets, and we are going to set it for each of the seasons. So so spring is plump helmets. We're gonna press enter. All right, did I get it? Yeah, we did. Okay, B is plump helmets. C is plump helmets. D, plump helmets. Awesome. That's it. We're done. So our farmer homie should already start getting to work over there. Let's see if he does. Someone should show up. We should also do fertilize. I don't know if I have fertilizer. I don't think I have anything to fertilize, but it should be fine. All right. People are still hauling too. And we're still mining. We got a lot of mining left to do. So this is kind of the sit back and relax and let things happen. Oh, I saw a guy carrying a seed. So one thing we're going to want to do right away is we're going to do a stockpile. We're going to press P and we're going to do a stockpile. This is going to be our first custom stockpile. So we're going to do a custom stockpile and we're going to press T for custom settings. And we're going to go into food and we're going to press E to enable. And we're going to disable everything except for seeds, fruit, leaves, milled plant, no extracts, no miscellaneous liquid. So this this storage area is only going to be used for seeds, basically. And that's it. That's all we want here. And we're going to go ahead and hit escape. And then we're going to go to press C, and then that should use our custom settings. So we're going to do this 3x3. Actually, let's make it a little bit bigger. We're going to store all our seeds right next to our farm plot so that we aren't going out hiking around looking for seeds every single time we want to plant stuff in our farm plot. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down a few levels. I'm going to go ahead and hit F for food. And this is where we're going to make our food stockpile for right now. So we're just going to do it there. I'm going to put the workshops like right in here for building food. And there we go. We're good. So eventually they'll haul more of the food stuff. So we did plant some stuff, but that's one of the things is I saw him running from like really far away, like probably back at the wagon to go get some shit. So someone else is hauling our barrels of like rum and wine and stuff like that over here, which will be good. They'll be inside. That'll be useful. And there's a lot of stuff you could probably do much earlier than I'm doing. Like I could probably already have workshops up and have someone building furniture and shit like that. But I like to get the very basic layout of my fortress done before I really start doing that stuff. And it keeps my miners occupied and stuff like that. What I'm also gonna do, actually, I don't know how close we are, is I'd really like to show the isometric view and show what's going on right now, but I don't know how it is with the recent versions, but it has a habit of crashing the game sometimes. At least it did on my old PC. So I usually want to save. If you launch it, like when my computer was crusting up before, I closed the isometric view. So I have to rerun it, and sometimes rerunning it when it's been running before can cause some weird issues. So I'm just going to wait until this is kind of dug out, and then I'm going to save. Yeah, this is like Cliff Racer tunes. Cliff Racer beats to chill to. So this guy's planting some plump helmet stuff, which is good. I'm also gonna designate some workshop space here. So we're gonna select mine again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down a couple levels, down here, I think. And then I'm going to pull it all the way out to here. I'm going to go back out to the top level and hit enter. And then you'll see all 3 of those floors got designated. So you can designate multiple floors for mining at a time if you want to. It saves a lot of time. And stacking things and putting stairs is usually more efficient in this game than trying to lay everything out on one particular floor, if that makes sense. So the thing is I have these stockpiles here, and my guys are going to be able to just go up and down the stairs to drop stuff off, and there's going to be workshops and more stockpiles here in a little bit after they get put together. Okay, so we cleared this area out. I'm gonna build my brewery and my cooking, my kitchen, basically. So we're gonna go on the side here and go to workshops, I believe. And we're gonna go to kitchen. And we're gonna put this right here. And we're just going to build it with the claystone since that's nearby already. And then we're going to build our still right above that. So these things, if you're wondering, so here's how my workflow is going right now. So up above, 1 floor above, or 2 floors above, is our farm. So our seeds are here, our farm is here. As stuff gets harvested, it gets brought down 2 floors, and it gets put in the food stockpile. And then from the food stockpile, it's going to be either cooked in the kitchen or done in the brewed in the still, and then that's going to go back into the stockpile. And then when people are hungry and they want something to eat, they're going to come in here, grab something, and then they're going to take a seat over kind of where the this kind of area is. I might put a stockpile in this area too. I might just open this whole thing up. I don't know yet. But this is a good start. Can I unpause? Yeah. So someone's going to come over. Our architect is going to need to scope those 2 buildings out before they get built. And our miners are probably very tired right now. I don't blame them. All right, I think we have enough room here. We're going to build again with the B menu, and we're going to go to workshops again. And we are going to build a carpenter's workshop. That's going to be our first of our crafting workshops. Now, the carpenter's workshop is exactly what it sounds like. It's a carpenter. He works with wood. So the carpenter's workshop is where we're going to build things like beds. We're going to build doors. We're going to build chairs, tables, basically everything wood related early on. Now we can build those things out of stone also, using like a crafts dwarfs or a mason's workshop. But for now, we're just gonna get started with our crafting bench there. And if you're wondering, we still do have Dwarf Therapist up, but we don't really need to. There's nothing really that important right now. Everything's already designated and set up. You can look at your dwarves like feelings and stats and stuff like that in Dwarf Therapist. Let's see if the windows pop up. Okay, of course it doesn't capture properly. Let me maybe capture this differently. Or at least try to. Maybe if I move it over here. Nope. Man, OBS is weird with how it captures things sometimes. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna minimize this. This might also crust some shit up, but I don't know, we'll see. Let's get rid of that, and we're gonna add a new display capture. We're gonna do this desktop. Wow, look at that. Okay. So you can see, here's our shit. And you can see if you mouse over people, you can see all the information on them, which is why is it playing all this combat music anyways? If you mouse over people, you can see all of their important information. So like if I mouse over this guy, you can see all of their skills. This is why something like Dwarf Therapist is a really good tool to use if you've never played this game, because to see all this information, you have to dig through like multiple menus. We can see about their personality, their preferences, what their mood has been recently, what their highest skill is, what their top roles are, all sorts of shit. So like this kind of stuff really is what makes like the lazy noob pack really worthwhile, and why I'd heavily suggest using it. And you can play like Joel does and dig through all the menus in the game and stuff like that, and you can see the same information. It's just this is kind of an easier way to process it, at least for me it is. Also, Dwarf Fortress has other tabs like a military tab, so you can see different relevant skills and stuff like that for your military dwarves. These are extra like things like music related shit and like school related shit. Very random kind of deep mechanics that most people probably won't ever use. Here are all our trained and tamed animals, which reminds me that now that this is here, let's get this fucking display capture out of here. Back to the game. We want to put a big pasture out front of our fort for all of our animals to hang out in. And so the way you do that is with a zone. Zones are like stockpiles in some ways, but not quite. So I'm going to press I, which is going to let me place a zone. And I'm going to make a big old square out here. Oh boy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press N for pen and pasture and T for animal training. And then I can press Shift N. I know this is getting a little complicated maybe. I can press Shift N and then I can go through and I can assign all of the different animals and stuff that I want. I'm just going to put everyone in here right now. Everyone's welcome. We're going to have a cat farm. We're going to have a dog farm. We got hens, roosters, ducks, yaks, and there we go. And so then what's going to happen is my homies are going to go ahead and bring all the animals over there. And they're going to be able to graze here. They're going to be within arm's reach. They're going to be within sight. I'll be able to see what's going on with them. They will be, for the most part, safe. And you can see now, we have some finished workshops here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Q again. Q is the general, like, use or interact with a building or item kind of thing. So my kitchen, I'm going to go ahead and hit add new task. I'm going to go ahead and hit prepare easy meal. And I'm just going to put that on repeat right now. Because why not? I'm gonna make meals until I run out of materials. But before we do that, let me cancel add new task. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, okay, it's in a different menu. So we're gonna prepare easy meal on repeat. Still, we're gonna brew drink from plant. Takes place. Okay, we don't have any drink producing materials right now, it appears, which is not good. But we're growing some, so eventually we'll set that up. For now, we're just gonna prepare meals. So what I want is, I believe it's Z. So this is kind of like an overview for our colony, and I'm gonna go to kitchen. And I'm going to go to see plump helmets here. I'm going to turn off cooking. So you can toggle cooking and brewing for every single item. And I want to toggle, I don't want to cook with my plump helmets. I only want those to be eaten, or only brewed, I mean. And then we're also going to do that for our seeds. We don't want to cook any of our seeds. And we don't really want to cook with any of our drinks either. We can cook with all this shit though. That's fine. That's important to set up. Otherwise, you're going to start using your wine and shit like that for cooking. And wine and beer are more important than food, believe it or not. Well, I'm sure you can believe it. Other things here, we can look at stone that we've encountered. We can also look at our stocks. And you'll see it's interesting. There are numbers with question marks. Well, in this game, you don't just get told the number of items you have. You have to have a dwarf who is an accountant who basically goes around to your stockpiles and checks them out. We're going to be doing that at a later date. For now, we're just going to finish mining out the area that we're mining. So we got our food set up. Our next workshop, we're going to do our carpenter's workshop, and we're going to make some beds. We're going to make, I don't know, 8 or 9 beds. I'll just do this manually. Oh, excuse me. And we're going to need those for our bedrooms. And I'm going to switch the music around to... this setup right here. Boom. That's good. Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead a little bit. Oh, we heard this one. We probably heard this one too. Whatever. Skip ahead. All right. Let's see how the progress is going on all that shit. All right, so we got one of our homies here. If I were to pause, I can look. This guy is making beds right now. That's good. Let's build another workshop. This time we're gonna build our mason's workshop. I think it is, or is it crafts drawer? Mason? I think mason is what we want first. Make that with the claystone. And that should be good for now. And then I'm going to make another stockpile up here for right now, just for stone. So we can start clearing out some of the stone we're dealing with. All right, so, oh, here we go. We're saving, which is good. That means the season is changing most likely. It is now summer. All right, so let me go ahead and pause really quick and let me see if I can get this back up. Yep, and that crashed the game. All right, good thing we saved. But it's gonna be worth it. Don't worry. So we're gonna go ahead. Oh, here comes the crust again for some reason. All right. We're gonna launch the game again. Yeah, it happens. And it's, don't worry, it's going to be worth it. So we're going to go to continue playing. And we're going to go to Limulatic. That was our fort. Okay. Press enter, play now. It'll be right where we left. So it's... Oh, got some turbo crust there. All right. So this is why I wanted to do this, though, is because we can take a look at what's actually going on inside of our fort right now. So you can see, I could actually probably make this bigger. Yeah, there we go. See, this is Dwarf Fortress with graphics, basically. I don't know why. Maybe because it's paused. Let me unpause the game. So I mean, I could play the game in the screen that I've been playing in, and I could literally like just leave it on this mode for you guys. But so you can see, here's our one level down. Let's go up to our entrance. So basically, if I scrolled all the way up, there's some keys here. Stone sense, single layer view, no. No, that's the wagon. There we go. This is what I wanted. I think that's what I wanted. No, that's what I wanted. Okay. We got depth now. Yeah, the isometric view really makes a big difference in this game. So you can see at our highest level, we have our big stockpile of stone, which is getting filled up, and we have our little farm plot here. And then one level down from there, you can see we have our 2 workshops here, our trading post, which is in here, and our kind of hallway that we built. And then down at the bottom level here, you can see this is where our kitchen is right here. Our still is right here. This is where our like main hall is going to be. And you can see we're digging out all these bedrooms right now. So that's good, and that's going on right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's see if I just click this, if it'll switch back. No. There's a way you can lock it to the window too. There we go. All right, that's weird how that works. Having both is really nice. The ability to have both at the same time is one of the best things about this game. Okay, so now we're going to use up some of this stone that we have. I want to make rock doors. I want to make a lot of rock doors. We're just going to make rock doors on repeat. And then we're also going to make wood chairs. Let's make a bunch of chairs. That's good for now. And you can see our beds are now stored in this furniture stockpile. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to hit B, and then we're going to hit B again to place a bed. And we're going to, you see it brings up the same material view that you use when you're building like different, what are they called? Workshops, and stuff like that. It works basically the same. So I just click through. It's going to use whatever the first assigned bed, the closest bed there is. So we're going to put a bed in each of these bedrooms. Everybody gets a bed. That's a wall, right? Yeah. Okay, everybody gets a bed. And I'm out of bed. So you'll see once I'm out of what's in my stockpile, it'll tell me that I need beds. There is a planning mode. It works a little fucky sometimes. Since it's only one bed, I'm not even going to worry about it. All right, that's good for me right now. We can actually, yeah. So this dude's making chairs. All right. And then one of the next things I'm going to do in terms of like mining out some space and stuff like that is I'm going to make some offices for my people that, oops, I did not mean to do that. Sorry for the stutters. Well, that was weird. I don't know what the fuck caused that one. All right. So we're gonna make some decent sized rooms for our nobles, as they're called. Just because they get more demanding later on and stuff like that. So let's do maybe 3. And then just for future planning, we're gonna continue this hallway out this way. I'm not gonna build anything there right now, just for later. All right, that's good for now. So our main priorities early on were getting food and drink up and running. So we're growing stuff now. Let's see if I can. All right, so now I have enough plants harvested from my farm up above that I can go ahead and hit B, brew drink from plant, hit R, do it on repeat. Those ones are pretty straightforward that you always want to be repeating them. You'll see notifications at the bottom of the screen when there start being issues with them. You can see we're making doors now. That's a weird tile for the door. It doesn't look like what I'm used to from this tile set, but that's okay. And you can see no one has installed the beds yet, because everyone's pretty busy. Like either with hauling or other bullshit. And you can see this stone is taking a long time to haul because it is heavy. Let's add some tables to our agenda here also. So we got one guy working on tables, one guy working on stone doors. We got food and beverage working, and we got some people mining, and we got some people who are going to be hauling furniture around. So everyone's pretty busy right now. Let's check out our front yard too. And you can see, look at all the animals out front now. So let me switch back over to this. Oops. Oops. Oh, that was weird. Did that work? Okay, yeah. If I drag it into the window, you can see it. That's very strange. I know there's a key to rotate, but I don't remember what it is. So you can see the beds are getting populated in the bedroom. You can see people hanging out, doing their jobs and stuff like that. Truly, this is a very good view to have. And then if I go to the front, you can see all my animals. Remember that zone that we made earlier was for our animals to hang out in. No, they don't really need water. They're fine. They need grass more than anything. All right, let's move that over here. Switch back over here. And also keep in mind, if you play with tile sets, you can zoom. You can change the zoom however you want. If you want to get like really in deep and close with your sprites to be able to see stuff. I mean, it would be great if this game had smooth scrolling. It never will, unless it has like some sort of massive like end rewrite or something like that to allow it. But you can scale your tiles however big you want. So we can get a nice big kind of overlay of our fort here. See what's going on. I like being able to get close enough that I can really see what's kind of going on with the sprites, but still see a decent amount of the map, I guess. And I'm probably, after we get the bedrooms designated, I'm probably gonna be taking a break. Actually, I'm probably gonna be ending the stream. Even though it doesn't seem like we've even scratched the surface of what's in this game so far. I'm going on almost 5 hours now, and I'm still I'm beat from that Beat Saber. Oh, shit. Oh, my spine just broke. And I'm also getting pretty hungry, too. They don't need what? Access points of those beds? Yeah, this game is insanely in-depth. There are access points. Those spaces, these are spaces are doors. Well, they're gonna be where I'm placing doors. Which I could probably start designating those right now too. So press BD, put a door here. BD, oops, no, door. Here. Door here, door here, door here, door here, door here, door here. You can use the mouse for this if you turn the mouse on in the settings also, but I'm used to using the keyboard a lot too. Using actually a combination of the two will get you going much faster in this game. The reason why no one's installed the beds yet is because everyone else is busy with hauling or crafting right now. It's gonna happen really soon. I think this guy's actually starting to put, yeah, one of the beds just got installed. No, this guy's hauling stone. Maybe I should cut, all right, I'm gonna cut down this stockpile really quick. Press P. Remove designation. I need my guys to, until I need to make wheelbarrows before we go ape shit with the stone hauling. Stone hauling, I should mention this because this is definitely a noob thing, is that stone hauling, see how slow my guys are going? Hauling the stone versus like hauling a door is even faster. Your guys can get stuck in a trap of like hauling stone forever, or if they're like just trying to clear out the halls. There's some tricks you can use to speed it up, and also using like wheelbarrows speeds it up a lot. Basically, wheelbarrows eliminate one of my RAM is, I thought that was something about like CPU, like my computer RAM at first. RAM is starving, huh? Well, he's got access to a pasture. What do rams eat? You should be fine. Oh shit, some migrants have arrived. Alright, so migrants are something that happen pretty much every season, around some part of the season. Is you have new friends come into town. Look at that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. We got new folks. Let's see what these new folks, what they're all about. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up Dwarf Fortress, or Dwarf Therapist here. We gotta reconnect because remember the game crashed earlier. So now we got a few more new people. They're gonna have their roles auto-assigned because of what we have set up in the Lazy Noob pack. And let's see, who is this? We have 1 child who came in. So children, you can't assign them work. Children just fuck around, and they're really annoying, to be honest. Both in real life and in Dwarf Fortress. So, because of that, at least it's only 1. But we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. How many people do we have now? Actually, I could look in this screen. So we have 11 people now. That means we're actually probably going to need to make more bedrooms, I think. Where are we? Where's my fort? All right. Here we go. Let's see, how many bedrooms do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow, we have the perfect amount if I build one more bed, if I build another bed. All right. But first, before we do that, we're gonna go here and we're gonna cancel the rock door task, and we're gonna add a task for, let's see, what are we gonna need? We're gonna need probably more tables. So let's do rock tables. And let's do a few more beds. Should be good. We're gonna unpause. All right, now next, this is an important thing. We have to designate this room as a bedroom. You have to designate special rooms. Just doing this, your dwarves won't know that it's meant to be a bedroom. They might use the bed, but it won't actually be counted as a bedroom. So we're gonna press Q, highlight the bed, then press R, and then just hit enter. And usually, by default, it'll create the room. You don't have to assign it. You can assign rooms if you want. You can make dormitories or barracks where multiple beds are shared in a room. But you don't even have to do that. All I'm doing is pressing R, hitting enter, making sure the size is right, making sure the room is right. Just highlighting each of these, hitting R. Oh, that's waiting for the bed still. And then pressing enter, and you see when I mouse over these, or icon over these, each of these is a designated bedroom now. And then let's also let's build some tables. I don't know how many I have right now, but let's do a table here. I only have like 5 tables right now. So let's build 2 and 2. And another one here. And we're going to need more. I should actually space those out a bit more. Oh shit, I forgot about fucking therapists. Sorry. God damn it. Sorry. Professional streamer. I was also covering up the chat. That's why I didn't see you guys telling me that. Was Dwarf Therapist was covering up the chat too. All right, so you probably, what I was doing when I had it covered is I was pressing Q and then I was hovering over the bedrooms and pressing R to make these into bedrooms. So you didn't miss too much. But I think I want to, those will be fine. They don't have to be optimal. So I'm gonna build, I got plenty of chairs here. I'm gonna have like 2 rows of chairs and tables, and they're like gonna go up and down. We're gonna have a big hall of dwarves and they're gonna like face each other. Okay, that's enough for now. So you can see that stuff is now designated to be installed and it will be hauled over at some point. Let's unpause. There we go. We got a chair. So you'll notice if I mouse over the chair, it says make throne room or study. So certain furniture objects like the bed is what's used to designate bedrooms. A chair is used. People will still use furniture even if there isn't a designation. But you'll see right now with this table, I'm going to press R to make it into a dining room. And I'm actually going to scale this up so it encompasses this entire area. So this whole area is going to be our dining room. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to press H to make this a meeting hall. And then that's pretty much it. And then press escape there. So people will know this is like the designated place you're supposed to go and fucking party. You know what I mean? It will be known. Let's see. Do I have a bed yet? Yeah, let's build another bed there. And then there was one bed here that didn't get made into a bedroom because it didn't have a bed yet. So we'll do that. There we go. And you can see we got some barrels full of seeds. What's inaccessible? Why is my bull starving? Okay, something bad's happening to our animals right now. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure why they're confused. Oh no, the bull. Where's the bull? Uh-oh. I'm wondering if maybe my bull fell in a hole or something. I'm confused by this message. Because they have plenty of grass. That's all they need. But that reminds me, because someone did mention water earlier. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I should deconstruct my wagon. Press X for remove building. Is this fucking kid? Yeah, dwarven child. All right. We're gonna press I for zones. Oh fuck, I for zones again. And we're gonna make this zone a water source in case people need water and are stupid. And no strange moods yet. And because I said I would do it and I don't want to forget, even though I'm going to end soon, I'm going to start naming some people. So if you want, I'm going to look in chat, but if you are lurking or haven't talked in chat and you want a dwarf named after you, Please speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. Okay, we got ATAX. We got Skeleton. I pressed F2, which is like the default key for renaming, thinking it would work, but it didn't. I'm not gonna specify because every dwarf right now is kind of doing whatever the fuck. Eventually, yeah, I can name you after one, but okay. We're not doing specialties just yet. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry, takes a second to type all these in. All right. Let's get Muncho in there. Let's see. I got 3 slots left. Let me scroll up. All right, Grim Meteor's in. Grim Meteor, I haven't seen you here before. I missed your message earlier because it was like gray on the dark background and I'm bad at reading. And then let's do Alizarin was here. And let's see who's going to get the last slot. It is going to be let's do let's do base. I don't know if he's still in here, but that'll be fine. All right. So just so I can show you, let me bring Dwarf Therapist up again. What I was doing is I was basically right clicking all of these and doing rename. And then you can see on the right here, it doesn't instantly change the stuff in the game. What it does is it sets up a list of all the pending changes. And then you go up here and you click commit and it sends them all to the game. So now, oh shit. Oh yeah, I should have done Jackal too. We'll get Jackal next time. So now if I go ahead, I don't know if Jackal's still here either. I think so. I don't remember what the other icons actually mean. I guess I could look at it. That would probably be a good place to start, right? I'm not really sure because there's like, I've never. Because like, what does double male symbol mean? Oh shit, how long has he been live for? Wow, he's been live for like 20 minutes. I should have wrapped up a while ago. Sorry, guys. Anyways, so we committed that. I wanted to just look at my list of people. Unit list. Okay, see, now all you guys are named in here. Who's the child? Crazy Bean, you're our child. You're out playing make-believe. Anyways, I think that's a good enough spot to end on for today. We did a couple hours. This game takes a lot of time for things to happen. I am planning on doing, next time I stream this, it's going to be just this, no like Beat Saber at the beginning. And it's probably going to be like at least a 4 to 6 hour stream of just this. So, for those of you who are watching for like tutorial purposes, I'm sorry that you watched this. But we did get a lot of stuff done. We learned how to set up bedrooms, stockpiles. We learned how to set up our food, our crafting, our farming. We learned how to dig. We learned how to set up our trade depot, all sorts of stuff. We got animals dying, but whatever. That's okay. It happens. I'm going to go ahead and hit escape, and I'm going to save the game. And I'm sorry about the weird crusty problems earlier, but I gotta figure this shit out, I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and hit quit. And then we're gonna get our shit together here. And it's gonna be time to say, have a good night. I'll see you guys over in Vinny's chat if you're going over there. Otherwise, thank you very much to all of my followers and subscribers, and thank you very much those of you who hung out today and watched either, Dwarf Fortress or Beat Saber. I had fun. Beat Saber time just flew by, but yeah, anyways, I hope you guys had a good time. I'll be probably streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure what. Maybe doing some more Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I'm playing through that right now. Playing through a few other things too, so I don't know. We'll see. Let me find a good song to go out on here. Oh, this one's great for this stream. All right, I will see you guys later. And for those of you who are new here, feel free to follow if you want to check out more streams and more games. But I'll see you guys over at Vinny's chat. Have a good afternoon and a good evening. Thank you very much to all of you. Peace.
Dungeons deep and caverns old, we must away ere break of day to find our long forgotten gold. The pines were roaring on the height, the winds were moaning in the night. The fire was red, it flaming spread. The trees like torches blazed with light. Dungeons deep and caverns old, forgotten gold. The pines were roaring on the height. The winds were moaning in the night. The fire was red, it flaming spread. The trees like torches blazed with light.